Good morning, everybody. Today is the 6th of October, and this is a list of assignments that we will be doing in class today. So if you're not in school today, this is what you need to do to stay up to date. I have also posted a video from yesterday's activities, and if you were absent yesterday, you may also need to look at that. That will give you an overview of what we did yesterday, and you can follow along. I'm going to walk you through the activities that you need to do today. The first thing that we're concerned with is that I've posted vocabulary. This is found in Google Classroom, and the words are right here. I'll read them to you. Estate, bourgeoisie, deficit spending, Louis XVI, Jacques Necker, Estates General, Cahia, tennis court oath, Bastille, faction, Marquis de Lafayette, Olympe de Gouges, and Marie Antoinette. So these are the terms that you will be needing to look for in your EText. I'm going to show you what you need to do now, how to open up your EText. The easiest way to do it is just to go to your classes, and all the classes are the same. Now you're going to have to find your assignments, and I know some of you have a different looking text, but you're going to have to dig and look for the assignments. As the assignments load up, we can go over what we did yesterday. Today, what you will need to do is you will need to open up your EText. Yesterday, we did this activity. You can see a lot of people completed it, so you need to go ahead and do that. We also watched this flipped video, and it's the Ancien Regime, so you'll need to watch the flip video to catch up if you haven't done those two things. They are both, what you can do is when you're finished, you click check. Now let's show you how to open up the EText. And I'm going to show you a couple of things that you can do. You click on the EText here, and your steps might be a little different than mine, but you've done this before. When you get to the EText, you know you've got it right if you see the splash screen that'll be coming up in a second. This is the splash screen that lets you know that you're doing the French Revolution, and it gives you the objectives, it gives you the vocabulary, and what we want to do is we're going to click next. I'm going to have to make it a little bit smaller. So we click next. And a couple of things that you can do here. If you hit here on menu, this is a really nice little tool, and you can take notes. You can see these are notes that I took yesterday. So they automatically save, and you can use these if we do an activity, or if you do an activity and it has a question you need to answer. You can also use this for vocabulary. So this would be a really good tool to use. You can then just go ahead and take your answers and paste them into here, into a text file, and then just submit this on Thursday or Friday when you're done with the vocabulary. I'm going to close this out. How do you know when you have something that's vocabulary? If you see something in bold blue, it's a vocabulary term. So you can read this, the sentence, to get the definition, or if you click on the term itself, it will give you the definition, and then you just type it into the notepad. So then you can just go here and type in the answer for the appropriate word. What I would like you to do today is I'd like you to read through here. You can also play as an audio. You can just sit and listen, and you can work on the vocabulary as it plays. And it gives you basically the basic outlines. Whenever you see an activity, you need to do it because we'll be doing these in class. This is an activity on the 3 estates, and you can see this is the clergy, nobility, and this is a person who's in the 3rd estate, which is everybody else. So you're going to click on you'll launch the activity, make it a little bit bigger. You want to read the instructions, and you can click on each person. Now you're not quite done yet. You go through the activity, you see this, you have a second page. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to type in an answer here. So you won't get full credit unless you type in the answer and then you submit it. Okay? So that's what we'll do. That's what you need to do today also. And we'll be doing this in class. I'm going right back to the EText. So I've done the activity. And again, I have more vocabulary. And when you see a picture, you need to make sure there's no question to answer. You might want to answer it in your notepad. This will give you better understanding. We'll be discussing these pictures and the questions in class, so you need to do the best you can with the text. So right here, this is something that we'll be doing in class today. You'll need to think about it, write down your answer possibly in your notes, and then when you come back to class, you can ask me about it. Here's another term. This is another activity. And again, you just have to analyze it. You're going to have to look at it, and I would take a note or two on it and try to answer the question. All right. So the question you want to answer here is, as the deficit grew, so did the suffering of the poor. How much did the price of firewood raise? You know, firewood would basically be a necessity that the poor would have a hard time getting. And you can see, you just kind of read, you have some more vocabulary. You want to make sure you do this vocabulary. And then answer this question. By the end of today, you should be at this page right here. The last thing you can see is the flour bill, the Flour War, which was in 1775, and you should get to there. You should do all the vocabulary and all the questions and get to there. You also need to do any activities that you missed yesterday. So that's all you need to know today for social studies. There is an ask question that is due today in Google Classroom. It basically is related to what we were just talking about with the firewood. The question relates to when there are problems in the country, why does it affect, which group does it affect the most, and why? And based on this conversation here about firewood and the poor, basic necessity, and who suffered the most, you should be able to answer that question. So I expect to see you get some work done today. Have a great day.